Okay. Okay. Ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. Hi, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Ask the Attorney. My name is Blair Clark, and I am here with Mr. David Sobel. David, how are you doing this evening?
I'm doing great. I'm doing super. Thanks for having me, Blair.
Yeah,
How's it going?
It's going. It's going. Thanks for having me.
Sure.
We have an awesome lineup of questions for the evening, and I pre-read through them. They are really interesting, and there's a couple that I'm really excited about hearing the answers to. But before,
Oh my.
yeah, I know. It's a mystery to David, mystery questions. So before we get into it, I'm going to give David an opportunity to just introduce himself and tell our viewers if they need any sort of real estate, finance, or contracts advice from an esteemed attorney who practices in Michigan and Ohio.
You're
David,
too kind.
how can the viewers get a hold of you? Very esteemed,
okay.
yes.
Well, that's very nice. Well, just very simply that you can reach out to me at Sobel Law just by typing in my name, David Sobel, S-O-B-L-E. You can go and you can call us at 888-789-1715. You can also just type in provenresource.com. And as of last week, our site actually doubled in size with more information related to real estate, contracts, and financial disputes. So we handle 2 different states, all of Michigan and all of Ohio. And you can, I don't know how else to, another way you can reach out is you type the word proven to 36260, and that will get to our app, which is pretty cool.
Yeah,
we have thousands of people who use that app.
I'm one of them.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool app. I think that something like over 20 some odd thousand people use the app. Now I know that's not a big deal compared to like what we're like, Google has apps and you download those and they say, oh, 1 million people have that app. But in the area of real estate and finance law, it's pretty big. So we have the app.
Great.
Yeah, always trying to keep abreast with technology and communicate with our clients and our friends. So that's how you
guys do that. One of the things that I appreciate about everything that you put out is so David puts out a ton of content. I'm sure if you are watching this video, you are watching it on YouTube, but in case you're watching it elsewhere, head over to YouTube and check out the Proven Resource YouTube channel. You can type into the search bar David Sobel or Proven Resource, Sobel Law, and his YouTube channel will pop up where videos like this one, several videos, very informational, will pop up for you. And it is a good resource to use. And if you are interested in real estate investing and you invest in the state of Michigan, whether you live here or you're out of state, you can also find David on a great networking group that we're both a part of on Facebook called Michigan Real Estate Investor Network. David's very active in that group, and he's also one of the content creators for the group as well. So you can see him on podcasts and virtual webinar interviews, all sorts of stuff. So you can find that on Facebook, or you can just go to MichiganREINetwork.com and look for the podcast that feature David there.
Right.
All right.
Good. Thanks. Yeah.
Well, let's hop into the first question for the evening from Pretty Certain in Chelsea. And Pretty Certain writes in, I have purchased a home recently where the sellers were aware but did not disclose various issues with the home. I have witnesses and proof of their falsified information. Do I have a case? From Pretty Certain in Chelsea.
Well, first of all, what Pretty Certain's actually alleging is what we call seller non-disclosure issues. And the Michigan law is really clear that whatever you're alleging that a seller failed to disclose, and I can get into that real quickly, with regards to the condition of a home, you actually have to prove clear and convincingly to a judge or to a trier of fact, that would be a jury, that the seller knew about the defect, the home defect that you're complaining of. So it's not like negligent. You can't just say, well, the seller should have told me. They were negligent because, there was water in the basement. They actually have to intentionally conceal the true fact of the defect at the time that they fill out the purchase agreement. So that is the threshold. So when somebody says, I'm pretty certain they did, a seller did this to me, by failing to tell me about item that's complained about, it's actually a little bit more involved. When we get these calls all the time. We do a lot of, we have more than our fair share of what we call seller non-disclosure lawsuits. We're either defending sellers or we're suing sellers. Okay, so we're representing buyers as well. And we're looking at areas, Blair, such as we look at not only the purchase agreement, we look at the home inspection report, we look at the appraisal, we look at the history of the home. We actually have some tricks of the trade as to find out what a seller may have known about a piece of property. So you have to have a known defect that you fail to disclose. That's basically it. And pardon me, fraud is actually, in its most concise form, legally, it's the knowing disregard for the truth. That's all it is. That's what fraud is. Now you have to show a jury that the seller knowingly disregarded a known defect. It's a very difficult threshold. It's not the most difficult legal threshold to obtain in a court of law. That would be beyond a reasonable doubt. Right underneath clear and convincing evidence, okay, would be a preponderance of evidence. So our job is we actually are between a preponderance of evidence. We have to prove a little bit more than that, but a little bit less than beyond a reasonable doubt. It's not that easy. And so when somebody says pretty certain, it's a whole host of things that we're going to be looking at. It's called the totality of the circumstances. It's the facts. It's what the seller should have known is not enough. It's what the seller did know. And then the other issue is going to be, what did the buyer know at the time that they closed on the transaction? So there's certain things that we look at there. So I'm sorry for this. I mean, here's the thing, I'm not dismissing this individual at this point, but I get it. I see it all the time where people, well, I'm pretty certain this is what happened. This is what they did.
Sure.
Well, now the seller, we have to verify that they knew about it and failed to disclose. Okay. And there's a litany. I should have a whole, I have like 6 books out there right now that I write a book a year. I started writing a book a year approximately 6 years ago. And I think I might write a book just on seller non-disclosures, because the stories are great. They're really exciting. They're really interesting. Sad for a lot of people. There's a lot of victories though too for what I would call disheartened buyers who thought that people's biggest asset, and there are so many things that can go wrong in a transaction. So pretty certain in Chelsea, I'm pretty certain that you need to speak with a real estate lawyer like myself who deals with home seller non-disclosure issues. Okay?
Okay.
Pretty much it.
All right. Well, good luck to pretty certain.